Welcome to Spiritual and Empowerment Living with international speaker, spiritual mentor, and best-selling author, Tia Johnson, as she discusses spiritual and women's empowerment topics to assist you in igniting your spirituality and empowering your quality of life. Let's welcome your host, Tia Johnson.
Hey there, spiritual trailblazers. We are back for another round of Confessions of Tia. All right, so before we get started, I'm just going to do some housekeeping. So I'm just going to fill you in a little bit about what's going on at Tia headquarters. Yesterday, so by the time this airs, it would be 2 days later, but yesterday I had the monthly meeting with my project manager. We were talking about things that are going to change and happen in next coming months. And I'm actually a little excited for it. I'm always trying to figure out what needs change, what's working, what's not. And I will admit I'm not the most patient person. Unless you are a child or an elderly person, I really don't have much patience. So yeah, we were talking about things that have been working over the last couple of months, or practically a year, but haven't, and the changes we are going to be making. And that's a big word, change. I don't know if that's going to be my word for 2020, but there's a lot of stuff that we basically looked at, and I made the decision of what really had to be let go and things that we need to work on a little bit more. And just as a side note, I encourage you to do the same. What worked for you this year? What didn't work for you? Especially when you gave it your all. And that's something really to think about, because the last thing any of us want is to spend a lot of time on something and not really look at if it's actually beneficial. How is it working for you? To what capacity? And, things like that, and what needs change. So just a little something, a little behind the scenes. I'm always evaluating what's going on, and I overthink a lot. So sometimes it's very nice to talk to someone else who just, hears me. So, just a little something that's going on there. So keep a lookout. There's going to be some big things coming your way, and I'm really excited. I can't wait to share with you guys. So, yeah, also, my course, Goddess Mastery Training, that coaching program, is going pretty well. I'm so excited because it's something that has been on my mind, in my heart. Finally got on paper, finally getting it out there, and I'm really enjoying it. Connections are being made, and it's just such a pleasure to see the growth that's happening, and really just to see something that was just a thought become a reality. So we are now at Pillar 2, which is the Triple Moon Goddess, and the students are learning about how that applies in their life, and basically how they are a Triple Moon Goddess and what that means for them, and how that can be applied to situations in their life. So that's very exciting. So yeah, that's something that has really been a baby of mine for a while. So I'm just glad that it's all going down, and it'll be back again. Enrollment will eventually be back open. So, just a heads up about that. And last but not least, regarding Tia headquarters, if you aren't connecting with me via email or even Instagram, I gave Instagram a little bit of a break. I'm going to be going back on there. Make sure that you do. Let's connect, all right? Because it's a great way to not just keep in touch, but there are just some things that happen in the email that are just, it helps the relationship build. It helps people to understand more of who that person is. And I think you guys get a lot about who I am through the podcast, But, sometimes it's just good to get on the email list, get the heads up about things early on and things like that. So if you aren't connected with me via, email or even Instagram, you can just go to my website, tiamariejohnson.com, and a little pop-up box will appear. You can sign up that way. And my Instagram is Tia_Johnson_. And the reason why I said that, especially about Instagram, because I'm going to be doing an overhaul with my Instagram. And I want you guys to be a part of that. So go ahead, follow me there, check it out. Finally, I know I said last, but finally, I'm going over my notes here. I have 3 slots open for those who want to work with me one-on-one, coaching for an hour, and I have time set up where we work together throughout the month. So if you want to wrap up this year with a bang, you want to dive more into your goddess essence, you want to be able to show up in the world as you truly are, be accepted for who you truly are, be able to stand your ground, regain your purpose, just learn more about you and how you can live your truth. Connect with me. Let's get you on a goddess discovery call. Let's see if we can work together. So that way we can get you well prepared for 2020. The best time to get started for something in the future is to begin right now. All right, so the link to set up your goddess discovery call is in the description for this episode. It is complimentary. You don't have to pay for this goddess call. It's me and you talking, seeing if we are a good fit for each other, and then we're going to develop some strategies to help you in your life. All right, so go ahead. I got 3 spots open. I would love to work with you. I'm feeling the vibes already. So go ahead, click the link, get your call set up, and let's chat. All right, so I have a dose of spiritual info for you. I know I haven't done it in a while because when I have a guest on, I want to jump right into the interview because it's already a lot of information, just like the beginning of this episode where I just went over some housekeeping, basically what's going on behind the scenes at TIA headquarters and all that jazz. So the dose of spiritual info happens when I'm doing a solo episode. So I am using Judy Hall's The Crystal Bible, which I love. As a hibiscus moon crystal healer, one thing I love to do is learn as much as I can about crystals, stones, the science behind them, and all that jazz. So I just opened up the book to a random page, and it popped up to the lapis lazuli. And I have this stone. It's very pretty. It's a dark blue color, and it just shines really well when it's tumbled. You just have to Google lapis lazuli. That's LAPISLAZULI. All right, so it's deep blue and it have parts of gold in there. All right, and it can be found many places throughout the world. All right, so attributes. It helps to open up your third eye, balances the throat chakra naturally because the throat chakra is blue. It stimulates enlightenment and enhances dream work and psychic abilities, facilitating spiritual journey and stimulating personal and spiritual power. This stone quickly releases stress, bringing deep peace, and it helps you to possess enormous serenity, and it is the key to spiritual attainment. I also tell people to use this crystal for communicating, just because it's in relation to the throat chakra, and that's also about communicating, speaking, being expressive. So if you're someone who is an artistic person, you're looking to be expressive, to be creative, lapis lazuli is one of the crystals you can use. All right, and it also talks about it's a protective stone that contacts spirit guides. It helps recognize psychic attack. It blocks it and returns the energy to its source. So that's great. All right, and then there's so much more information she has here. Healing helps to alleviate pain, especially that of migraine headaches, but of course you still have to use your medicine. And you can wear it as a ring, necklace, earring, place it over your throat or third eye. So that is the lapis lazuli, and that is your dose of spiritual info. So the topic for this confession of Tia, no more denying our blessings. I really thought long and hard. I always think about these confessions of Tia, and what will I confess? How is this going to help you? What does this mean? So my confession has to do with the word thank you, and how I had to get really comfortable with that word. Meaning, there have been many times in the past where I feel like I had to justify the thank you. If someone gave me a compliment, if someone was just acknowledging my work, or if my manners just automatically kicked in when someone was being rude and I just said, thank you, have a nice day, something like that. The thing is, what we do, what we say, we are putting out there to the universe. So because, a little backtrack, because in the United States tomorrow is Thanksgiving, I decided to pick the word thank you and as the confession. So basically, what we do, what we say, our expressions, verbal, nonverbal, we're putting it out there into the universe. And we have to be careful what we say, especially about ourselves. Now, this is different than speaking the truth. If you're saying something like, I am in pain, yes, you are in pain. You have a paper cut, you're in pain, right? But that's a thought that comes and passes. So you think about, oh man, paper cut, I'm in pain. I need to find some ointment, just to make sure I can disinfect the area and get a Band-Aid, clean it up, get a Band-Aid. Boom. You're not going to be thriving on the, oh, I'm so in pain, I'm so in pain. You're going to find a way to not be in pain. That's the difference here. When someone compliments you, acknowledges your work, and you say thank you, but you feel the need to justify, oh, thank you, I got this on sale, thank you, it really wasn't that hard, so-and-so helped me. Here's the thing. Yes, you can say things like that if that is how you communicate anyway, such as if you're someone who wants to help people get a good bargain, like, oh yeah, girl, I got this dress for 50% off. Go to Ross, okay, because on Tuesdays they get their new shipment and they're trying to get rid of the old shipment. That's a conversation that is casual. You can feel the vibe of it, right? Because you know that whoever you're talking to, they would probably like to save money as well, as opposed to, oh, thank you. Yeah, this is old and, I got this for sale and it was so long ago. You can feel the difference in their vibe. You're trying to justify that thank you. And I'm going to dive more into why this is how we block our blessings. Now, if you're in a group with someone and someone says, oh, you did a great job, and you say, oh, yeah, well, Jan and David helped me. If that's the truth, then yeah. But if Jan and David did one thing and it really wasn't that big of a thing, like maybe they like found one answer for you, you didn't really need it, but it was good to have it, they don't need any credit for that, right? You can say, thank you, I put a lot of effort into that, I really appreciate your feedback, whatever, something like that. When we try to justify a thank you, what we're telling the universe is, I'm not good enough for this, so I have to add more to be enough. It's sort of like when and early on in my business, I felt like I had to give a lot in every single thing because it had to be enough. I had to pour more and pour more, as opposed to, okay, let's do this, but you don't have to give the people free this and free that and free this on top of already what you're giving them. Give them one solid thing. Okay. So like for my goddess mastery training, instead of adding all this extra free stuff, oh yeah, if when you join, you get like 20 different bonuses, right? No, and the bonus, they're going to get meditation that my brother and I created, and some workbooks that got repurposed. Okay. So what I'm saying is, I'm not adding on a bunch of things just so it can be enough. There's a lot of good training in there that has a lot of value, and that's enough. All right. The bonuses are something that I wanted to do because that's usually protocol when you do things like that. And that's what I'm saying. Don't justify a thank you, because what you're saying, what you're putting out there into the universe is that I'm not enough. So I have to tack on extra stuff to justify this so I can be enough. All right. So just say thank you and move on. Change the subject. Thank you. So what are you doing for lunch? Thank you. So you got any weekend plans? Start rehearsing that. If you're someone who doesn't know really like how to make small talk or conversation, things like that, start practicing it. You're in 2019, you can Google practically anything. Google how to make small talk. Okay. Next is, I want you to think about, what are you thankful for right now? I don't want you to be feeling sorry for it. I remember when I used to feel like I had to not only justify saying thank you, but I had to be humble, and at times where I shouldn't really have to be humble. There's nothing wrong with tooting your own horn. You know, I would be so happy to have, you know, a certificate, you know, something that's like, hey, you did a really good job. And like, well, that's great because I put a lot of work into it. But then sometimes you get around other people, at least for me, I notice having other people, and, you know, not that you don't want the other person to feel bad, but you don't want to be put on the spot. I remember sometimes when other people will be proud of me, and I feel like, oh, I'm getting put on the spot here. But the thing is, they just want to acknowledge what you're great at. So why dim your light just because you're worried that someone else may be offended, or you worry about someone else may feel inadequate? We have to stop that. It is not our responsibility. It is not our obligation to think, oh, if I shine really brightly, then I'm going to offend someone. Someone's going to feel upset. Someone's going to feel like they are not enough. That's not your job. You have to show up for you, your children, because you are an example to them, your friends. Trust me, there are people looking up to you right now, and you may not realize it. And you may think, Tia, I am working and I'm doing, you know, this and that. It's nothing that no one else will be doing right now. But what you're missing is that someone's seeing what you're doing, and it's not mundane to them. Someone's looking at you and they're thinking, man, she goes to school, she works, she goes home, and she cooks for herself or her children, or, you know, she's finding a way to have some kind of social life. Man, if she can do it, I can do it. You know, people are really looking at you. Trust me when I tell you this. All right, so what are you thankful for right now? Think about what's already around you. A lady in a group I'm in had posted that she wears oversized clothes because she's so voluptuous that she doesn't really feel comfortable, even when she's going to places like the market. And I thought, oh my gosh, I was once that woman wearing oversized sweaters because I thought, you know, God forbid if I wear a V-neck shirt, because no guys are going to look at me in my eye, you know. And the thing is, that's not my problem. I need to correct them and make them look me in the eye. But what I said was, you know, it's okay. You have a body that women pay for. You know, basically don't be ashamed and don't feel like you have to cover up. You know, show it off. If that, because I could tell her what she wanted to do is that in a space where she felt safe, she wanted to be able to wear clothes that complement her body type, right? We all want to wear clothes. Mostly all of us want to wear clothes that complement our body type, right? And it was so crazy because she had a body, if Google Mae West, but she just had a smaller waist. She was voluptuous, and it was amazing to me because that was her body, and women paid tens of thousands of dollars to get a body like hers. And here it is. She was just like, no, I want to wear oversized, you know, clothes. And it's crazy because, and I don't know the woman personally, but I know from personal experience that some people make you feel uncomfortable where you want to cover up. I remember growing up, I developed real fast, guys, like no training bra, straight to C, D, and beyond. And it was just like a nightmare at times walking down the street, to the point where my mom said, you're not wearing any V-neck shirts, and my grandmother had to tell grown men old enough to be my grandfather, she's 14, because they were just staring at my breasts. It was ridiculous. So yeah, so then you grow up to want to cover up because you just had enough. You're just like, you know what? Screw this. This is ridiculous. So, and I had to undo that. I mean, now I don't wear V-neck shirts because it really doesn't compliment me. It does not compliment my body type. So no loss there. But the point is, we gotta refocus and be thankful for what we have and really truly appreciate that. Okay? Like really, really, really appreciate that. So I'm asking you, what's already around you that you can be thankful for? And it doesn't have to be, body wise or body image wise, but maybe something around your house. Maybe you have one really good friend. Some people don't have any good friends. Maybe you don't have much money in the bank, but all your bills are paid. And that's like a little bit like, dang, but I really wanted to do something, but that's okay. One thing my grandmother always said is that you can always make money back. So, think about that and make a list. What are you thankful for? I remember I was talking to my brother about this last week. Speaking of like being resourceful and what you're thankful for, he was telling me how one of his friends was making a lot of excuses about and basically getting his music out there, out to the public. And I said, it's so crazy because now it's so easy. It's so much easy to get your material out there. And I'm not talking about like the early 90s where you had to really, really have flyers and things like that. And the internet was just, starting to take like real form. I remember because I had like a Macintosh computer at school. But I mean, just about a good 10 years ago, I remember when I started my business and I said, Marcus, remember when you had to have an iPad and the iPhone because they weren't married yet? There were two separate things. And remember when I downloaded that harp app and I made music with the harps? It was like different harp sounds. I made music with that. I said, and then we had the Mixcraft and we were making music that way. I said, we've come a long way. And back then, I don't even think Spotify was around, or if it wasn't as popular. Some people were on SoundCloud, but really it was Apple back then. And even then you needed to have Apple Producer and stuff. Like, it just wasn't easy to get your stuff out there, let alone on iTunes. And now when I just think about it, like, man, it is so much easier, but yet people aren't resourceful because they're not being thankful for what they have. They feel like they need so much more to get stuff done, but you really don't. You got to look around and be thankful, because this is where the blessings come in, right? If you are able to say thank you without having to justify it, you are telling the universe, hey, look, I am worthy, I'm enough, bring more. I'm saying thank you. Yes, thank you. So bring more my way in many forms, right? If you are thankful for what you have right now. You're telling the universe, yes, I want some more. I'm aware of what I have, and I'm ready to up the ante. It's so much easier now to recognize these things than before. There are Facebook groups to help you. There's podcasts. There are so many ways to help you to recognize things that you can be grateful for right now to bring on the blessings and stop denying it. So boundary setting is the next part. The holidays are here, which means you're going to have to deal with people who you rather not have to deal with or see. I understand. Here's the thing. You do not by any means have to bend over backwards for anybody. Okay. Doing that just means that you're willing to accept anything. And if you're willing to accept anything because there are no boundaries, guess what's going to happen? The universe is going to start sending you anything. And, we really do have to play a part in this. It's not so much about, because I want to make sure I'm clear with this. It's not so much about just saying thank you. It's not so much about telling the universe, oh yeah, this is how I want my life to be, and sending that vibe out there. You really have to start living it. Right? It's just like I can tell someone, oh yeah, I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to be #gym life. I'm going to be thankful for my gym. I'm boom. And they're in it to win it. But if I'm not really living up towards that, it's not going to work. So the boundary setting here is more for you. It's all about you. So adding on to this confession time, I used to be a person who, if you're my friend, I said yes to a lot of things because, one, I really don't like to get in arguments with friends. Now I'm better at it, where if I don't like something, I speak up about it as opposed to try to deal with it. But, we really have to be vocal about certain things. And it doesn't mean that it has to be a confrontation. It can be a conversation. Remember, it takes two to tango. You do not have to get angry and elevated in your emotions and things like that. So this holiday season, when you have to deal with people you rather not deal with, what are some of the things you can do to prepare yourself for this, right? It's all about being prepared. Do you need to meditate before you go to dinner? Do you need to exercise? Do you need to bring someone along with you to be a buffer? What do you need to do? This is truly something that only you can answer. Because I know over the years when I had to set up boundaries, I had to rehearse what I was going to say. Because I know sometimes I can say things with a really sharp tongue, and that person doesn't deserve it, right? It depends on who you're talking to. So sometimes I just need to get my point across without the extra emotion. So I rehearse what I'm going to say. Sometimes I even say it out loud. It helps me to get my point across better. It's not about being weak. It's not about, oh, I don't want to really hurt this person's feelings. Because, in some cases, that's the truth. You don't want to hurt some people's feelings. Like in the case when I want to get my point across, I don't want to hurt people's feelings, but I need to get my point across. I need to be firm about it, and I need it to be unquestionable. Like a hard no. And it's a shame that we even have to say hard no these days, because some people don't know how to take the word no. And then we have some people that say no, but they mean yes. So as a hard no, okay, I had to do things that prepared me for that. So for me, it was rehearsing what I was going to say and anticipate some follow-up questions so I can stand my ground. Now for you, It may be going for a swim, going for a run to get your mind right. Only you can answer that. All right. So when you had to deal with these family members who you rather not see, gear up. All right. We had the lapis lazuli that I talked about earlier. Get that. Order it. Well, I mean, it's too late to order it. I mean, well, Amazon Prime has 1-day shipping now, but drive to your local metaphysical store and get a lapis lazuli. All right. Practice that. Only you can say what boundary settings look like for you, because everyone has different boundary settings. I can only give you examples. And that's what I told the students in my courses, that I will never tell you what your self-love looks like or what boundaries look like. I can give you examples. I can give you techniques to help you figure out what that looks like for you, but I'm not going to say boundaries look like, A, B, C, D, because it is different for everyone. All right. Some people can easily go to these family holiday dinners, even though they don't like someone, and they just say, I just don't give them the time of day. Totally ignore them. Don't even acknowledge them. And that works for them. For some people, they really can't do that. They can't, because that person's going to start talking to them or whatever the case may be. So we have to be prepared. We have to gear up. And last but not least, what's the goddess thing that you can do today? I'm all about the goddesses, living that hashtag goddess life. What is something you can do that is goddess-like? So in my first book, To Be Goddess, I talk about speaking and dressing like a goddess and, things like that that really build a strong foundation about who you are. Because once you do that, not only will you become unstoppable, but things that pop up, you have a better reaction to, okay? And that goes along with having to deal with unsavory people. That goes along with when someone gives you a compliment to something that you were iffy about, because I get it. Maybe you're trying a new hair color, or maybe you wanted to try a new hair color and it came out a different color and you're not sure if you're feeling it. And someone comes along and said that it looks nice. And you want to say, oh my God, thank you for saying that, because I was just so nervous. They gave me the wrong hair color. Thank you. I appreciate that, and move on. You don't have to go into the backstory, right? Because think about it. Goddesses don't justify themselves, right? Unless someone wants to be along a similar path, then they will explain, this is who I am, this is what I'm about, this is what I do. But they don't justify themselves, because you don't have to, and you shouldn't. They are so resourceful. Goddesses are so resourceful that they have their own symbol to let you know, hey, when you're on the right track and you see this, guess what? That's me. I'm there helping you. Okay, so I think about some of those things, because that's what was going to help you get through the rest of this year and beyond. So during this holiday season, while you're in the mood of being thankful, tell yourself why you are thankful for you being you. All right. Even when I say, what's the goddess thing that you can do today? You know what? Go out, get yourself something. Maybe you order something that's like a nice latte, makes you feel nice and warm inside, and you take a moment, just for you. Or maybe you buy a nice dress that makes you feel like a goddess, something that really complements your body type, something a color that really complements your complexion or brings out your eyes. And don't shy away from that. There's so many criticism when people want to wear certain colors and things like that. If you want to wear a certain color because it brings out, your green, your brown, your blue, whatever color eyes, wear it. If you want to wear something because it really complements your skin complexion. Some people say, oh man, you in the color red, it just pops. wear red as much as you want. If that's what you want to do, if that's the color you love, and people say, oh man, you look amazing in it, and you're like, you know what? Thank you. I think so too, do that, okay? Especially during the holiday season, one of the main colors of the holiday is red. So, if you want to, if you have my book and you want to look at the chapter, revisit Dressing and Speaking Like a Goddess, it is chapter 5, part 3. All right, to help you along with that. And then the barn chapter deals with boundaries. All right. So yeah, I want you to really think about that, guys. Let's stop denying our blessings by trying to fill up our thank you cup with trying to be enough. All right. You are enough. You're just adding on to it. It's like you're an A and then you're just adding pluses. You're A plus plus. Okay. Think of it like that. All right. So go ahead, look in the mirror. I don't care if you look in the mirror naked today and, just to start looking at your body and be like, hey, you know what? You're doing the best you can. Thank you for getting me to my destination, feet. Thank you for helping me be vocal, throat and mouth, or, just start saying things like that. All right. So if someone says something to you, you don't like it, guess what? You build yourself up so well that you have a comeback for that. Okay. Or you can let it roll off your shoulders and tell them that they need to get a life, whatever it is. Okay. But stay along that track. Let the blessings just rain down upon you. All right. And don't forget to set up your goddess discovery call, because I would love to work with you. All right. So I am sending you many blessings as always. Can you believe it? Next episode will be the first episode of December. What? Crazy. All right. I'll talk to you soon. Don't forget to be kind to yourself. Have a happy Thanksgiving if you celebrate it. See you the next episode.
Thank you for joining Spiritual Living and Empowerment with Tia Johnson. Don't forget to subscribe and tune in to the next show. Want to continue the conversation with Tia? Follow her on Twitter, Instagram, and Periscope at Tia_Johnson_. Have a wonderful day filled with many blessings.